my name is Agata Rek and I am Polish-American artist living in Portland, Oregon. And I am coming to you today to talk about my freshest collection, art collection, Picasso and I, Allegories. Visual language is my strongest language, I believe. And it's so versatile and it's so universal. In terms of writing down what I want to say and how I want to describe my art, it's a challenge for me, especially in foreign language. English is my, as you hear, my actually third language. But I always try to do my best and I read how other people do it. Of course, I'm going to write it down because that's the correct and right thing to do in terms of describing your art or collection. But also I wanted to tell you how was it, why I decided to create that collection. The answer is very simple. I found this old book. It was very damaged, water damage and everything, but it has the most beautiful stains, and I like it because I like not only shapes, I like textures in work and I like the nuances and also sometimes accidents in work. So I decided to purchase this book, and it was an old book from the 60s. And I can't express enough how I love Picasso's sculptures. So when I was a child, I always thought that Picasso, it's what the hell is this, you know, some kind of abstraction. I couldn't understand that. And also I didn't like him as a person because I was reading about his affairs and how he treated women and that they killed themselves just because of him. And I always, like I said in a previous video, if you haven't seen it, it's about, when I was showing my studio, I said that I really feel that buying art is also reading about the artist and buying art with the artist. How I know it sounds awful, but that's what I believe in. And I have many examples about it. I can actually tell you why I believe that we buying art with the artist, which I didn't believe before. When I was younger, I thought art is art and artist is artist. And yes, in some cases that's true. And I don't think there's a good answer for that. Years and years ago, I used to be friends with an amazing artist. His name is Edward Inglot, and he lives in Poland. I never forget his studio. It was very artistic and he was painting everywhere and all the time, and he was writing poems and had tons of books, even bought a couple books because of different colors reproductions. He really opened my eyes and made me dream about becoming an artist as well. So one day he told me, hey, there's an exhibition in one city, let's go. But I was traveling there by myself. When I arrived to this gallery, I saw the paintings. In that moment, they weren't as convenient for me, like the style-wise. I couldn't understand exactly what is this all about. So I lost an interest. I saw it before opening and I decided to leave. But when I left, I went to the train and he was there, like he was actually just arrived to the city, and he said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm coming back home because I saw the exhibition and yeah, it's all right. And he said, no, you have to stay on the opening. So I decided to listen to him because he was older than I am and more wiser. So I went back to this exhibition and oh my God, thank God I listened to him, because on the opening, woman came. She started to cry and say the whole story about her art. It was about her parents that actually died in Auschwitz, and it was about her family. She was so touched, and it was the paintings were so personal. And then on top of it, which I didn't know, she took us to another place. Everybody had this beautiful flags with the paintings, and it was like you know, everybody went there. I can't say I forgot the word in English, but you know, maybe I will write it down. So everybody went to another place, and on another place it was a giant paintings, huge formats, And I was totally blown away. I was so mesmerized about it. From that moment, I understood that yes, to understand art, it's very good to actually read and know the artist and read about the exhibition. Because when I see those crowds, and I was on this art walks, in Florida, for example, I saw those people. It's good that, it's better than nothing. It's good that they went there, but usually nobody paid attention. A, it was just too many people, and B, people were eating and just, just like hanging out. So actually reading about what artist had in mind, if the work he creates has a meaning, because sometimes it's, purely decorative, changes everything. Also the person, and I really love it. I am always interested in artists. I always read about, when I like somebody's art. I dig in. I feeling like a student, and I love it so much. Actually, Frida Kahlo, she bought me with who she was and how interesting life she had. When I fell in love with her, that time I couldn't even understand her paintings, to be honest, and it grew on me. Like now, of course, I love it, but when I was younger, I couldn't. That's why I so believe in in this. Maybe you have stories like that. Maybe you're working the same way. Maybe your brain is working the same way, or maybe you are totally on the other side. Maybe you feel like art is art when it's technically well done, when it has meaning, when it's clever, then fine. Or opposite direction. So that was my my way of thinking about Picasso. I didn't like him and I couldn't understand him. And some people saying, oh, art is taste, it's all about your taste. I don't believe that completely. Of course it is, but also it is about how we learn about art, if we are careful and if we are aware of seeing details. Because what we eat mentally, it also trains our brain and our perception about what's beautiful and what's not beautiful, what we appreciate and what we not. We have to be very conscious about looking around. Not only watching commercial things and what people like. We have to question this, because in these times, sometimes what has billions of likes is not necessarily good enough in art, so we really have to pay attention about what we are watching, who we are watching, what we are listening, who we are listening to, and all that stuff, all that nuances, and take the best what we can from it. And when we training our brain, our vision, our perception, our point of view, then we are able to grow as a collector, and also as an artist, and also in general. We training our eye, and also I think educating about art, and constantly looking. I see huge difference in between myself 10 years ago and now. 10 years ago, for example, I couldn't understand an good abstract, I have to say, because I see so many people that thinking that abstract is just making whatever, like dropping paint and counting on an accident and all that things, which is fine, but I really feel that creating good abstract, it's a skill, and I see it all the time, and I am very careful about judging it. I have hope at the same time that in 10 years from now I will be even more wise about it. I will see more and I will understand more. Whatever you are interested in, you have more understanding, and if you have more understanding, then you can judge better, this is how it works. Actually, please let me know in the comments what you think about it. What's your thoughts? We all can learn from each other, and I like to see different points of view. It would be very nice. Maybe 3 years ago, maybe five years ago, I started to like Picasso. I was digging in it, and I was checking out about his history. I don't know if many of you know that Picasso also had period in his life called blue period. By the way, let me know if you know, because in English language they say I'm feeling blue. Is that from Picasso, or is that very old saying? And then maybe Picasso use the blue color. I haven't read about it, I just thinking about it right now. Feeling blue, right? They saying feeling blue. Is that from Picasso, or it's just a coincidence? He is very fascinating to me because he was fearless. He changed his tools. He constantly he was curious like a child. He always wanted to grow. When he finished this, he wanted to go to another step, and which I really like and which I am familiar with, because I like to explore new things. And some people say we really like your old style of creating collages, and I know that many people got inspired by it and creating similar things. But I want to move forward. I want to explore more, because I don't believe in fails. I believe in, experimenting. I believe in being brave and in experiences, and that's the part of the journey. Picasso is very interesting persona for me. And if you haven't seen Picasso, where Antonio Banderas played him, it's from National Geographic, which is strange for me, National Geographic making movies about geniuses, but it was a Picasso genius. I think I watched it last time, because I watched it already 3 times, by the way. I watched it on Amazon, which, by the way, if you're interested in movies, documentaries about artists, let me know, because I really know all that stuff. What I love the most about him is sculpture and ceramics. And what I read about sculptures, he wasn't really talking much about it, because usually he was recognized as painter, academically trained to do that, more as a painter. But that's why his sculptures are very, I would say, personal and very experimental. So I decided to use those images and create something new. That's why it calls Allegories, romance in between Picasso and I. I know it's controversial to change artist work, especially like Picasso, but I was thinking about it, and I decided to take a chance on it, because maybe it's good because people might react on it better, which is the main key, right? To provoke. And B, even Picasso got inspired from others, and he say this openly. Also, people create tons of works with Frida Kahlo, and it's her face, so it's even more personal. I don't know how would she feel about it, if that people are using her own face to create art. I am guilty about it too. In general, if you change everything, narratives, I think it's fine. As long as it's not a competition, with his work and my work, it's just some totally different approach, then it's okay. It's a good starting point for conversation for sure. I feel quite not pretentious, but oh, she had courage to change Picasso's work. Yes, I have a courage to change Picasso's work, and that's okay. I believe in courage, that's it. I wanted to say it very candidly as it is, because description that it's gonna be more artistic, you're gonna find for sure in my shop. You're gonna be able to purchase my collection on agatarek.com. You can check it out, even if you maybe don't want to buy it. Still let me know how do you feel about this collection. Still share with others, because it's everything for us, for creators. If we can be at least seen, nobody say you have to love it. Of course, it would be ideally if you love it, but the most important thing is that we have a chance to be seen, especially now in those algorithms. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. Please be kind to yourself, to others, and to our planet. And please check it out. My freshest collections, Picasso and I, Allegories. Bye.